All right. It is. Oh man, all my stuff is messing up. There we go. Over here. It's that time of the week again. Thursday. It is Legacy Podcast with Edward Vanamnz and Eddie.
Thursday, baby.
Thursday, baby. We're just kind of just chilling, you know, on the smooth transition to the week. Big week this week. We'll get into that later. The Legacy Cup on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, as usual, Eddie, how was last week? How you been?
I've been pretty good. Last week we got set 10, and that was fun. Sort of. Didn't really play much. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't touch any cards. How about you?
I did everything. I built new decks. I play tested a bunch of stuff. We not only got set 10, but we also got Messiah, which I got the premium box of that as well. Really, I'll start with that. Actually, the premium box Messiah versus Chrono Jet, especially since they announced new Stride decks kind of coming on later on. Mm-hmm. The Messiah one was good. As far as came with the same what is it? The what are those plastic thing called? The hardcover things. Appreciate the sub.
Top loaders.
Yeah, the top loaders was dope. Curly, appreciate you. I'm working on your stuff, Curly. Later, don't worry, I got you. Curly's has a secret project, and I'm gonna give him so much info. He's gonna have to dig through a bunch of stuff later. But yeah, it had the same dividers. Had the deck box, which is much better than the Messiah one, I think. Although the image is like a little bit faded, sort of, I still like it a lot. I think it's the thing with those like leather type deck boxes. You know, when you put an image on it and you kind of hot press it, it kind of just happens. But obviously better than the plastic Chrono Jet one. However, the Chrono Jet one came with that frame. The Messiah one doesn't come with the frame, but you do get the play mat and all that, and the counters as well. So
Right.
essentially, you trade off, I guess, the frame for like a more sturdy deck box.
I'd take that trade, honestly.
Yeah. Other than that, deck's really good. Only addition I made was Makani. I didn't add the grade 2. I didn't feel I needed to retire. But it depends, right? What you're playing against, what your local meta is, and I still think Chrono Jet might be the one that lasts longer out of the two because of Messiah's issues against like heavy retire.
Yeah, I think Jet's gonna outlast Messiah on that play front. I agree. Deck's it's a toolbox versus just like a tankier deck.
I wouldn't really call it tankier. I think it has the multi attack obviously with like you attack then lock then unlock and then attack again, and then have the ability to draw is nice. But sometimes what you draw may or may not save you. So right, you can say it can outlast some things, but not necessarily. I do like the bind. The bind on the lock thing is kind of nice. But what made the deck, I guess, more prominent early on was the fact that they had to operate without certain circles, right? But that part of the game is not going to be a thing, I think, anymore. As far as
Yeah, I didn't touch Messiah in any other format than D, so I personally have very little experience with Archetype.
Yeah. So Messiah was so obviously there was We'll go to a history lesson, right? Link Joker started off with locking stuff on their turn, keeping unlocked so that they had to operate with less. Chaos Breaker was retire and draw. Messiah is like when anything got unlocked, you were able to draw with a Soul Blast. The thing that made Messiah a little bit different, essentially, was that it didn't retire really your opponent's stuff, but it gained a lot of power and criticals or whatever it is, depending on the number of things that you unlocked, you got effects.
Right.
But you can chain multiple attacks with Messiah, where Chaos Breaker you couldn't really do that. But Chaos Breaker made it so your stuff stayed locked longer, so you were only really swinging with your Vanguard. Back then, both had like similar issues. Heavy retire kind of makes it harder to play, but it really depends on like people's playstyle and stuff like that. I played a lot of Chaos Breaker, a lot of Messiah. So back in the day, from like. No, I'm gonna date myself, so I'm gonna leave that out of it. But in D, it's interesting, right? Because it's like you get the constant power gain off of the crest, right? And you do have multi attack. So after that first stride, your 15s become 25s. If they last a second time, then they're 35s before like using any other effects. So I think that's what makes the deck more impressive is the fact that it just scales.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. D Messiah is like they took V Messiah and Premium or G era Messiah and just like smashed them together. Because you got the multi attack and the lock and unlock.
It did that in G as well, as far as the multi attack and lock and unlock. So like, not much has changed. I think it's just less. So for example, right, the Messiah in V, right, you would be calling out Volt God. And like tutoring it out because of other things that bring other stuff locked. There's not as much of that stuff in Messiah. There's only like one unit that searches top 5, whatever. So it's a limited card pool for Messiah. Yeah, right. But it still does pretty much the same thing as far as like for like a rest you attack, lock it, unlock it with your Messiah Vanguard swing that you come back out, so you're swinging again for like a 4th attack.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to start testing it out and playing it. Hopefully, I can get some testing done before the Cup this weekend.
Absolutely. And then what'd you build out of it?
So we picked up some Dark States and Brancate stuff. We did end up putting together a Unica list, and I haven't had a chance to play that yet. And we put together Avant Garde with the new Grade 1. Feels good. It feels good with the grade 1. I just have to mess around with my ratios for grade 2s right now. But it feels solid. Like I don't have Bulb Mine in the list, and even without it, I don't feel like I'm facing any kind of hindrance with the amount of counterblast I use.
Mm-hmm.
With all the new stuff, like with the new grade 2 inhabitable zone, the Persona Ride, the cycle card,
Yes.
you definitely up your counterblast usage a lot more during your turns. And I've noticed I'm running out of orders to play very quickly. So I think I might want to like put that grade 3 back. That grabs a 3 on place kind of blast one, or no, just act kind of blast one, so blast one.
Yeah.
Grab a grade 3 order back from deck or drop. So I think I might just mess around with ratios for now. But that's what I'm working with.
Yeah, it's avant-garde is weird, right? Because it doesn't necessarily have a bad matchup against anything. I think because of the fact that it's an on-hit restand.
Yeah.
But it doesn't also necessarily have a good matchup against anything either.
Yeah.
It's kind of there, and we're sort of weakened a little bit, I guess, from the promo.
Yeah.
So I understand the need to try to get the Persona Ride a little bit more consistently, and for the promo, for those who don't know, I'm gonna cover us and bring it up. Let's do that real quick. If I can do this correctly. Yeah, so that's her. That's the promo.
Yeah, it's a really good card for the deck.
Good old Al D'Argento. Who knows when we're gonna get this? Obviously, it gets +5 when you're Vanguard with Avant-Garde attacks, which is good on Persona Ride because it'll get +10 on its own. When it's placed on rear guard, if your strategy card is put in the order zone into Soul Blast 1, search your deck for a strategy with a different name, put it in the order zone, so you can kind of cycle through a few of them. However, you still don't really get it still has the thing where like you don't get much from the discard.
Yeah.
Right? So that's where the grade 3 kind of works in a way. But then you also have the Cycler right now that you have an option to play, which is you play 2 orders a turn, but at the same time, you're really thin on Soul at a certain point if you're playing the grade 3 with the Cycler.
Yeah. And it sucks to play the Cycler in Avant-Garde too because you can't use it turn 1 because you need the grade 0. So like discarding it feels bad anytime before like your grade 3 turn essentially. I think the way I'm probably going to get around just the issue of the not having enough of the strategy cards is just I'm going to try to work in that grade 2 dragon from set 9.
Mm-hmm. So that's one, you get one from drop. If you're Persona Ride, get another one with a different name? Because it gets +5, I think you get 2 if...
It only works if you Persona Ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you discard 1, grab 2 back from drop. So if I have 1, I just kind of +1 for free, and it's that feels a lot better. So I'm going to try to work with that. I'm also messing around with that grade 2 order docking thing that gives all your grade 2 rear guards boost.
Okay.
That people are playing in Ava right now.
I don't see why you would play that, though, because like you only have 4 grade 1s unless you're not playing Bulb Mine anymore, right?
Yeah, I'm not playing Bulb Mine anymore.
Swapping Bulb Mine for the grade 1 that countercharges draws. And then everything else would be grade 2, I guess?
Yeah, but all your grade 2s get boosted. So, I mean, if your hand's full of nothing but grade 2s, I mean, there's a couple new grade 2s that are just, they just get power from you just playing the deck. Like the one that says, when you play an order, look at top 5 for an order and add it to hand. It gets +5 for the rest of the turn. That's just 15k booster.
Soldite Sturmer, that's the green one.
And then there's the other one that's like the Avant-Garde direct support where it's just a 20k beater.
True.
Yeah, just a lot of good grade 2s to play in the deck. And since, like, you know, you're only running that 1 grade 1 support for Avant-Garde, you might as well. Feels bad. I played it at 2, and I honestly saw it too much, but I'm afraid to play it at 1 and not see it enough. So, tis the curse.
Yeah, it's a weird balancing act. I played build Zorga. Zorga's fantastic. I think there's so many options. I don't think there's a wrong or right. Well, there's definitely a wrong way. I think there are multiple options with Zorga that you're not necessarily wrong with how you build it a certain way, as far as like the type of orders you select, and whether you're playing four of the I forgot the dog's name. It's the Hound or like the Dragon Tree Searcher, the Mass Searcher essentially. Whether you're playing 3 and 2 or 4 and 1, however you kind of do it is kind of up to you.
Yeah.
But I like the options of the deck, and it feels good finally be rewarded for thinking with Zorga, where before like you kind of just fell short and like needed just a little bit more. Um, Really really good deck. I think the multi attacker super important, but other than that, I think that deck is really really good.
Yeah. It looks like a lot of fun. I look at the idea of Zora and just like, oh, you mill this, you grab this back, you like it's a thinking deck, which I enjoy. Most of these decks now are just kind of turn your brain off, swing your Vanguard, and just do your effects. But that's cool.
And then we had
Have you messed
Gandiva.
around with Gandiva? Yeah, I was gonna ask about Gandiva.
Gandiva
I put one together.
is probably the easiest deck to play and get
Hmm.
rewarded for, to be honest, because
Yeah,
you just have to kind of open with like one of the grade threes and one of
yeah,
your grade twos that like counterblast bind one, and then if you hit two binds, like you don't need like even if you don't hit best harvest, it still scales really well
yeah.
because you can get the to five on the first turn very very easily. So you're swinging with that crit very early. Obviously, you can still brick and not get that, but it's rare.
Hmm.
I see why that deck is so strong and why it continues to climb. I think we had this conversation with someone in our personal chat for whatever reason said that Candiva isn't that big of a deal when Chrono just been out for twice as long, and Gandiva's already like if you go on Fuzzy's list of topping, he's already over
Yeah,
halfway there, about to get close to surpass Chrono Jet. But
yeah.
what do we know? Like it's just numbers. Right?
Right. Just numbers, just crit.
just just
Nothing.
just numbers essentially. Um,
Yeah.
but
How many
it's
cards in
topping
hand?
for a
24.
reason.
Cool.
The heavy retire gives it some good matchups against
Yeah.
some of the decks. Like and then the fact that it's going to be an increase of power regardless of Persona Ride makes it that if you Persona Ride, it becomes absolutely unbearable because it does have multi
Oh yeah.
attack as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Having your Persona Ride turn with at least 5 in bind, and then you have the 2 multi attack cards. It's disgusting. It is gross.
So Gandiva is definitely strong. I think it's going to be strong for a very very long time.
I
Um,
agree.
I don't know how what would fix it because Best Harvest isn't really even the card that I'm afraid of. To be honest, I don't really care if they hit Best Harvest. Um, the only matchups that I've played with what's it called Gandiva was with Zorga,
Hmm.
and Best Harvest wasn't really the thing that pushed things over the edge. Just the fact that every single turn they just kept gaining power with that regardless. So it just scaled. It just scaled so much faster than like even some of the stride decks, depending on like what cards you open with.
Yeah. I played because I wanted to see what is the big hindrance between it and Ava. I played in the Ava matchup with that deck, and Best Harvest did not matter 100%. He never called anything other than Obfuscate, so past turn 1, I couldn't do anything. So even without Best Harvest, my hand was still unbelievably large, and the game came down to us both checking Overtrigger at the same exact time.
Hmm.
And if like he hadn't checked it, I would have beaten the deck once, but most of the time Ava was winning the matchup. It just felt so bad. I was hitting a brick wall.
Yeah, I get the difference with Ava, especially because of the fact that you can't retire anything.
Hmm.
But the thing that also helps Ava in that matchup as well is if you play the grade two off of well, you can double order now.
Hmm.
So you fill your board, and obviously you can have the one that gives your grade twos boost. But now you can kind of knock out the front row with the grade two, kind of make them force them to replay more and more cards, and then also still have that crit threat. and neither of them can be retired. So once you're done with
Yeah.
that, right, push them back, get new ones, and then do it all over again. So
There is a weird resource management game you got to play with Gandiva because those gray twos that multi attack, they don't come back. So once they're out, they're out.
mm-hmm. Once they're gone, they're gone. It's still like a, I don't know. I think because you don't retire theirs on the with Ava, it slows it down a lot.
Yeah.
Where you have to start binding your own stuff, and that makes the grade threes really, really important. And like I think the countercharger binds itself as well.
Yes, it does.
So like you have to start mass producing those to even get to the crit, which makes a big difference.
Yeah, I think another big problem, I shouldn't say big problem, but another glaring issue that Gandiva has in just stalling matchups is that it can't play the stall game because all your cards say draw. So you deck out pretty quick, even if you're not playing draws. Like almost every card in your deck just says bind itself draw.
Yeah, but I don't see a game even stalling out that long. There's only so many times you can take like 33 in a crit.
You're right, yeah.
And then like that's just the Vanguard, you know.
The side columns are like 50s.
Yeah. Other than that, other decks that came out, Dredgewald, I haven't don't know much about Dredgewald. I know it's missing a promo to kind of push it a little bit further.
Really?
Yeah, there's a promo that came out like a while ago for Dredgewald that we don't have. That helps them at that deck itself.
Okay.
And then we don't have Leonorn. I don't care what anybody says. I don't think it's that good. Mm-hmm. Personally, I don't think Leonor's that good. I don't think it's gonna do much. And then I can't think of any other deck that there is in that.
One of our team members, Evan, he was messing around with the Java list at locals that week. It's actually kind of spicy. I'm not gonna lie, it's doing a lot more than I thought.
It's tier 60 instead of 75. Sure.
Man, I saw it doing moves. I'm just saying.
You can tutor a bunch of stuff with it now, but it's still overdress. Like the overdress mechanic is not missing rear guards; it's missing a better vanguard.
Yeah.
It's not like the rear guards do what they need to do. You do draw stuff, you get a bunch of stuff. You don't have really power thresholds with your multi attack. Some of them do, but you have to kind of. You're running so many different toolbox stuff that you're like, all right, you're doing like 6 different things, but what are you good at? That's where it really kind of falls off for me, at least personally. It does a lot. It does search. It does have one of them that has resist, but still, what happens when Messiah goes ahead and locks it, you lose everything.
Yeah. Does it lock the original address too? Or sorry,
the way the ruling works is when it binds everything. When it locks, it's gonna lock everything.
It locks everything.
Just like how everything goes to prison, that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Oh man, that's rough. Now that deck has 3 bad matchups.
Deck's just
that's rough, buddy.
Well, deck's just bad. It is what it is. Until like they'll figure it out. Maybe they've announced new stuff, right? So maybe they'll figure it out. Who knows? Because we have Luard in the future. We have Shiranui coming in the future. We have new Youthwork, Leonorn, and Jiva or Nirvana. One of them.
Yeah, a new Virina. We're getting a new Virina.
Yeah, whatever it is. Something's gonna be new, right? A new form. Maybe a new grade 3 is probably what's more likely as far as the main one, because it looks like
it's
hopefully for them. But
listen, if they're gonna keep giving you the fucking Power Ranger Battleizer upgrades, God bless them. But let's just hope they make the deck good.
It's just it's strange because this is like the only time that like the main character's deck is like kind of shit. Well, not shit, but not as good as like if you go back, right? Aichi with Azel and that was good. Thing Saver was good.
At one point, like Alfred Monarch was good.
Yeah, Alfred Monarch was good.
I don't know what they're doing to this main character. He's not radiating main character energy right now.
Chrono and Chrono Jet was fucking balling out of control.
Yeah.
And then Yu Kondo is kind of just there.
He is just there. He's got a fucking dope jacket though.
dope jacket, but if he was playing IR, he's only winning games in the anime. All right. We are going to take a short break and bring our first guest on. We have Mike Mipaul coming on. We're going to talk about his pretty much super eventful Springfest. My man went through like the gauntlet, for lack of a better word. But we will take a short break and be right back.
All right. In a couple seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. How you been, Eddie?
Yo, what is up?
Yo.
So we transition back. All right. So welcome back, everybody. Thanks podcast. Of course, Edward Vanamnz, joined by Eddie here on my top left or right, depending on how you're looking at your TV. And then I'm joined by the traveling man, the wanderer.
The
wanderer.
I like that.
Mike Mipaul, man. Mike, what is up, man?
What's up, Edward? It's been a while, a couple weeks since I saw you at regionals.
I know, man. It was a good time, man. I got to see like a lot of people, which I was surprised.
Yeah, it was great. I missed everybody. I missed you. I still miss you.
Hey, don't worry. Are you coming out on Saturday?
No, unfortunately not. I'll be in upstate.
You won't see me.
But, I won't see you. No,
you won't see me. Don't worry. You'll get me on the next one. But
I will.
Mike, obviously, you had a huge. I'm gonna say huge Springfest. Traveling around, like I said, the Wanderer, you and your teammates. You had different teammates for some of them, if I remember, because I know the constant was Gerson though, right?
Yeah. So usually our team is always Garrison and our third teammate Juning, but for this year he didn't have his passport and he couldn't really travel, work related things. So we asked Nick actually when in the beginning of the season, Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Juning couldn't go to Toronto because he didn't have his passport. And we're like, Nick, you want to go to Toronto? So that's how that started. That's how that started.
That's phenomenal.
So
y'all crossing borders to
let's
cards
let's
with no
kind of go
borders.
over essentially Springfest for you.
Yeah.
Toronto starting. Wait, do we start Toronto, Vancouver, Newark?
Yes, the season started Toronto.
Toronto, right? So Toronto,
yeah.
V Premium third place. Leopold. Yep. I know we spoke about that.
And first place on standard. That's same regionals
with Lyrical. That was Letitia.
Mm-hmm.
I might not go in order. January, March.
I can go in order for you.
Texas, right?
Texas.
I didn't even know you went to that one. You got fourth place, Luard.
Yep.
V Premium. Then it's May, so that would be Newark. Newark was a big one too because it was Premium
double
with
first,
and then V Premium with Luard.
Yep.
And then then after that was
Vancouver.
Which was second with Thomas.
Most people don't know this, but it was also top 8 with Standard.
See, yeah, Fuzzy, come on, man.
No one records top 8. What do you want me to tell you?
Get this man is top 8, man. It counts as 7 tops, man. Because when you look at the ranking ladder, right? Technically, you weren't on there. Then, boom, there's Mike right there at 5th now. Technically, maybe you'd be 3rd, I guess, because that'd be 7.
Someone tell John to put that 8th place there.
He'll probably see this VOD when we cover something later on. So he'll be like, "Oh, all right, I got it, man. I got it. Chill out. We'll get the top
that's hilarious about because he like came up to me at Newark and he was like, "Let me get your list," and I was like, "We were dead 8th."
Yeah, no, because usually he so it's not. Look, Fuzzy asks for 8. He asks people. Like,
he asks
top 8. And for whatever reason, here comes everybody else. Like, hey, we got 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Fuck everybody else, right? That's usually how it happens. Is that not how it happens, Mike? Like people.
That sounds like how it happened.
That is exactly how it happens. People are like, yo, fuck everybody else. Just 1st, 2nd, 3rd. We don't care. But like making top 8 is a big deal too.
Bushiroad thought, we don't need 4th place. Let's just do 1st, 2nd, 3rd now.
Yeah, yep. So yeah, let's talk about it. Like, I know your normal team didn't travel this time because of the passport. Do you normally like travel this much though? Because this is almost every event that's in North America.
Honestly, the traveling started right after or right before COVID. I don't remember. It started with when V Premium was only V and Premium, and then it was Maelstrom that was in the format, and it was meta. Jason wanted to go to Chicago.
Oh, we might be losing you for a second.
That was BCS 2018. Oh, we're good?
We were losing you for a second. I know we heard BCS 2018 during the Maelstrom meta that you were traveling with Jason.
It started with Jason. We talked during that time. Yeah, Jason Lee, the bully. And I took a shot. I went with him to Chicago for BCS 2018. And that's when it really started because I was like, this shit is fun. We should travel more often. So it was that. And then COVID hit. And then after COVID, we traveled with the 3 of us. We went to Texas and California that year that me, Juning, and Garrison traveled. And I do not remember the results that happened during that year. But we did travel. We did have fun, And this is actually, yeah, you're right. This is the most we've traveled in 1 year. I believe, what was this? 4 Springfests. Let me see. Toronto, Texas, Newark, and Vancouver. We have 4 Springfests in 1 season.
Yeah, insane. So
I didn't expect to travel this much, but I'm glad I did. We had a lot of fun. More fun than we did, playing Vanguard over anything else. Honestly, like... I expected us, honestly, Texas day 1 to make top 8, but I'm pretty sure it's because I didn't sleep. I fucked up a lot. Those were each event was so fun, had its own thing, So obviously talked us Overlord, me playing with Tissia, what I thought about the format. Texas, the format for me, Texas, it changed. I didn't play with Tissia. I played Youthberg for D, and we didn't top that day. Unfortunately, we got bubbled out like at 15th place or some shit at X2. And V Premium second day, we went into top 4. And we lost to Joey's team. Joey, Kendall, and as they say, a random Florida man. So
random Florida man is crazy.
Random Florida man is the meta, baby.
That's exactly what happened. They went in there with Steam Maiden, Yasui, and Grand Blue. And in top 4, I can't sugarcoat it, they mollywopped us. They just said, go home. And they proceeded to win regionals, which I was happy for them. That was their first top. So props to them. I'm happy to them. They got the better of us. And ironically enough, in Newark for V Premium, we got our run back, but it wasn't a random Florida man. It was Joey, Church, and Marcelo. So
Okay.
so you guys know who I'm talking about. You know, the rest of the people watching, you guys probably don't know who they are, but we're all close friends with each other. So I got my run back with Grand Blue. Unfortunately, for my personal like record at Newark, I kind of hate it because my games didn't matter because my teammates won before I had a chance to win. Every game, both days. I hated it. Like I play my game with Lord and I'm like, you guys are done already? Why am I playing this?
Why? Why am I working so hard?
Yeah, for real. So, like honestly, I was gonna lose that Grand Blue matchup. Like I thought I had the win in my kill turn. I didn't, and then Church was gonna kill me with like 4 dragon attacks. But my teammates already won. I'm like, fuck, Church, let's stop playing. I don't want to lose.
Should have just said no guard to everything. Just
Yeah,
let it go.
Yeah, just no card everything, and that's what I did in one game. But
Heal on 6.
Let's go back to like the traveling aspect of it, right? Because a lot of people don't travel, and I think if you have the ability and enough people that want to do it, you should do it at least once.
Yeah.
Like a season.
I agree.
Because like mine was very early on. You know, I did all that team league, except our team league was split, right? Because we had the regional to national type deal.
Yeah, that was way back. Like you actually had to work to get your invite.
Yeah, we had to do 2 tournaments to
Yep.
get to the where you needed to go.
And then there was Block A, Block B, Round Zero, the good
and
best
we
of
traveled,
3.
traveled a lot
Holy
for like a bunch of those, which was a lot of fun. Obviously, been there, done that, but then I switched to judging, and then after that, I've stopped judging, and now I'm back to kind of chilling because I don't really play. Like I don't know like a time frame that I've sat down and been like, you know what, I need to beat the shit out of everybody here.
Well,
Like,
I know you personally. I've known like you play here and there when you get the chance. I know everyone's busy, everyone got lives, especially you, especially between judging and playing. You know, we were both there in the boat. I was once judging for Bushy Road. I judged PPG. No, ARG. I never got a chance to judge. You were my head judge for ARG for the last ARG Nats, whoever happened.
Yep,
That was great. You know, so I understand it. You know, you can't be a judge and a player. You got to pick.
You got to pick, and you got to have a weird balancing act. Like
so I chose to be a judge for about a year and a half, and then I went back to playing. So.
And I know. So you've been more recent a judge than I have. The big turnoff for me, like I used to love doing it. I still like doing it now, obviously, because I do it at like the community events and stuff like that. But
yeah, definitely.
The biggest turnoff for me was when they switched from, "Hey, we'll give you product for judging," to "We will pay you to judge."
Yeah,
Was that the same for you? Like what made you stop doing it essentially?
So for me, it wasn't so much like. Don't get me wrong. Honestly, the pay is not that great. I'm not going to talk about the pay. But you could say the pay. If you're in the local area, it will pay for your hotel and leave you with some extra. And if you're going out of state, it'll probably cover
the hotel. That's about it.
Not the hotel, yeah. It wouldn't cover. You would just pay your own flight, to be honest with you, and your own expenses. And for me, it wasn't so much the pay. I loved being a judge. I loved working with the team, working with Bushy Road. I met a lot of great, people, and I have a lot of great connections to Bushy Road now because of that. But honestly, I think for me, it was just I couldn't deal with the fact that I had more knowledge being a floor judge because I actually no offense to anyone who judges and no offense to the head judges there, but I took my time. I read the comprehensive rules. I tried to understand every concept of rulings, of interactions. I put in the work to do that, right? And to be recognized as a floor judge and to have your opinion, and even though you know the answer, it's just an opinion, was kind of upsetting.
Yeah, I'll be more blunt than this. So, because this happens all the time, for some reason or another, there are people that are put into positions of leadership that should not be there in any way, shape, or form. Right? Sometimes
I didn't want to say all that.
No, I'll say it. I'm gonna fuck that. There's no punishment for me. Right? I'm a content creator now. Ain't no punishment for me. I'm just saying how it is.
Yeah,
There's just some people that have been put in as the head judge that didn't know shit and have given some
Mhm.
horrible rulings that you're
Oh
like,
yeah.
and then when they'll give the ruling, you will go up to them and be like, look, hey man, if you look at this and this like this, you're like, oh, and then swear to God, it's happened
Something.
to me. Oh well, I mean, it's already out.
Yeah, that's I
That's
hated that. Like,
crazy to me.
well, cause you know what it is. I like if they say it and they publicly say it and they go back on it, it looks bad. So they care more about their image than making the correct, move.
Yeah.
And I really didn't like that, especially when like I was there for when it happened. Like we made a ruling happen. We announced it and everything. I don't remember what that ruling is for the life of me. But we found out it was wrong. It was a wrong ruling, but they played for it like that for the whole day. And when people found out, they were pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people
And you
lost
can
games for
correct it
that.
instead of being like, let it ride. You don't let it ride.
Yeah, definitely.
You just
You
correct
definitely
it.
don't. Yeah.
Hey, our bad. That happened at round 2. Hey, we caught it at round 3. So your next 7 rounds, you play it right.
100%. But as you said, there were some individuals in leadership that did not know what the fuck they were doing.
I mean, it is tough, like, because honestly, like, I feel like every time, like, I've judged, like, the number of staffing has gotten less and less.
100%
And
correct.
it's
Like,
because of stuff like that leaves sour taste in people's mouth, right?
So I remember there was a time. Whoops, excuse me. I remember there was a time that Christian, Kevin, people that I knew were head judges, and we would have like a staff of 15 plus people.
Mm-hmm.
But now this season, especially this season, I noticed the floor judges are like 10 and less. And
Well, you look at Newark; they had 5.
yeah, and the head and Simu was jumping around everywhere between Weiss and Vanguard. Like he had to be on the floor. He couldn't there just wasn't enough floor judges.
I mean, and then unfortunately, like, you can't really blame the judges for like, and like the staff because like it was understaffed. Like, there's no doubt
Yeah,
about it, it's understaffed. But
definitely.
we had the silent repair.
Oh, they happened a couple.
On standard side. We had a silent repair, which is insane to me. Just get on the mic and be like, "Hey, we repaired the thing," and then then they repaired it again later on. They announced it after that, but like that silent repair, I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, there's no way. There's no way you just don't get on the mic and just be like, "Hey guys, make sure you're sitting at the right." Like, it's so simple to just be like, "Just make sure you're sitting at the right table." They just let it ride, and it would cause chaos for like the beginning of the round of that round, but.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. And
I just wish there was a better incentive for like people to volunteer and judge, right?
Yeah, if they gave out something better than just a paycheck.
Bro, even the judge promos suck now.
Yeah,
they suck. I'm not. Were you around? Because I got the World's Claret and like the World's.
No,
so I got the World's promos for each game.
Like, I wasn't around for that.
Now their payouts suck, dick. Like why am I judging for an ESOL stamp? like that's not even foil.
And you know what the crazy part is? You're not even paying for the card. You're paying for the stamp. That's the crazy part. The stamp carries the value.
What in the world? Like, that is
like
crazy.
if it was a full art, foil like textured card with a stamp, I understand. That's something I would want, but not a stamp. At least they did right by the promo, by the prize cards. The prize cards are textured and foiled out, and the stamp is foiling too. So they did right by the prize cards this time, because prize cards before were just ass.
Yeah.
And I hope they keep that trend for BCS.
Yeah, but I'm more worried. Like, I'm worried that like next BCS Newark is gonna have like 3 judges, man. Like, there's no incentive to be a judge. There's no benefit to it. Like, even
definitely not.
Because before, like, right. I can only talk about like my iteration because like I feel like that was like the best time to be a judge because they gave you your cool shirt after you pass, right?
They gave you boxes.
They gave you boxes. They gave you they gave you a playset of every promo that was available because you couldn't do that. Like, I don't even think you get that. Like, you get like one of each.
No, you don't get. Honestly,
I don't know. I don't know what I did.
I'm pretty sure what happens now and what happened to me before is like, you can take one of each promo. And that's it. Like,
that's crazy because it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt anyone.
No, it doesn't.
Because after this season, they're going they're just sitting in a desk or like a storeroom. So like I don't know.
So I remember when I was a judge, I would just take a place out of the promo zone and was like, oh fuck it, who's gonna miss them? And then at the time as well, they were giving out the Blaster Blade sleeves for one of the events, and I'm like, oh, that was a great one for me because we had so much leftover stock of the Blaster Blade sleeves that we each took a drawstring bag of the event and just stuffed the bag with the
Oh my
sleeves.
god.
Like I came home with like 20-30 packs of Blaster Blade sleeves.
Eddie, after the event is done, those are just gonna go in a storeroom and just collect dust.
Yeah.
That's just so that, oh man, like you have so much stuff that you could be giving away, so much cool stuff, and we're still just getting one card and maybe a mat.
You know, most people don't know this either. It's also the prize cards too. They have excess amounts of the prize cards, and they just go in a drawer or a desk, or they go to like the judges, or they go to the staff.
Or some corrupted staff goes up and posts them on Vanguardians and sells them.
Which has happened.
Yes,
and
that's why I
still
said
happening.
That's why I said it.
It's crazy that it happens.
And they don't get punished for it at all.
No, but you get punished for breaking street rules. Like, come on, breaking street.
But
date.
somebody else will get exactly. So some other like brick and mortar store will get punished for breaking street date, but someone that works at staff will get punished for exploiting the fact that they have 100 World's Chrono Jets just sitting there, and they took a playset and sell them.
Yo, Eddie, you smell that? It smells like privilege.
Yeah. I was just thinking that. I'm like, wow, this is some privileged bullshit. No wonder we have no judges.
We're gonna move away. We're gonna move away from the drama chain. That's just those. It's not even drama, to be honest, because those are just facts, and it is what it is.
Yo, it really is.
Because like for a long time, I've been saying like top 8 should get stuff because they just have it.
Yeah,
they got it. They got it. Like it doesn't affect them negatively in any way, shape, or form. Because what's gonna happen is they're gonna sit there and collect dust. That's what's gonna happen.
I remember like Springfest top 8, you get the playmat, you get a promo, and then even before then, top 4 you would get a medal instead of you'll get a medal and a playmat.
Yeah.
And then you used to get a trophy too, but they stopped.
Yeah, it's getting less and less. Soon you're just gonna get it's gonna go from getting a card, and then the year after that, you're just gonna get the text of a card.
Or you're just gonna get the artwork design of a playmat and just go print that shit.
Yeah, print that. They're gonna give print it yourself.
They're gonna give you an FFR of a rare that has the hot stamp for the judge. This is insulting. Take it back.
Yeah, it's not too long ago that they had top 8 mats either for Worlds. Like it wasn't really that long ago.
I miss that. I really do.
But like now, it's like you got to fight 3rd and 4th to get a playmat. Is crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely saddening, and especially when the Springfest mats got less quality because they say top 3 on it and not top 4. That's just depressing. Like you fought all the way to fight for 3rd, and all you get is a playmat. And you just walk away as 4th place with a certificate. Like it's just a piece of paper that I could make on my own.
Yeah. Well, it's our game. Hopefully, BCS changes a few things. I mean, they don't really take as many surveys as they used to try to see the player morale and kind of what they're looking for. I think they just kind of do it, and let it ride.
When it comes to the competitive aspect and planning events and prizes and things, I agree. But when it comes to the product and the promos, I think they've been listening a lot more than they have in the past. So it's good that
one thing goes up, one thing goes down right now is what it seems like.
Balance.
Yeah. So what happens is essentially for us to get back the top 8 playmats and the trophies and stuff like that, our promos are gonna have to be you only get that promo at Springfest.
You're gonna get a reprinted comment as a promo.
Yeah.
They're gonna reach into one of the drawers for Buddy Fight and just pull out a promo and be like, here you go.
Yeah, and then the really, really good promos, you can only get it at a regional.
They're gonna be for BCS, here you go. We're gonna give you the Dragonborn World Finalist promo.
Yeah. Or they'll be they'll just screw everybody what is it, the avant-garde promo, the grade 2. The only way you can get this is Vancouver BCS.
The only way you get this, go to Vancouver BCS, whisper a secret word to the head judge's ear.
After that, you can't get it no more. You gotta wait.
God.
What's up? Oh, we want the gradual promo? Well, go to Texas BCS. That's the only spot you can get it.
You gotta be more complicated getting there. You gotta win the shop challenge. You gotta get the exchange card. Yeah. You gotta exchange at this specific event.
You have to show us proof of purchase for a $15 parking ticket at Newark Airport.
And then trade in
So-
your match slip here at Pasadena. That's it.
And it passes it, and then go fight Yu's voice actor in the hallway.
And then once you get first place, you can exchange this copy of the card for the actual card.
Yep, there we go. We figured
Not
it
even.
out.
We'll let you smell the card.
Just-
So you smell it.
We figured out. We figured out the. we figured out the
Somebody at
formula.
Bushi Road R&D right now is just like, write this down. Write this down.
hold it before we take it away from you forever. That's all you get.
Yeah. That's it. That's the
Oh
only way.
man.
But
No, but you
go
know,
ahead.
aside from the card games, it has been a very, very fun season. And thinking about it, and in more hindsight, 8 weeks ago, right after we came back from Toronto, I started class, and then leaving Vancouver, I'm about to end class. So it's like everything was like in perfect timing.
no, that's good
Right.
because
Yeah.
it lined up perfectly where you like. You
It
finished up your
really,
class,
honest. You know, go to class, win a couple of regionals, go to class, hear a cat.
drive
Yeah,
a couple
sorry,
more.
that's
like
me.
was it mostly driving or did you fly?
The only one we drove to was Toronto, and everything else was flying because, you know, both Texas would have been like a 15-hour
Damn.
drive.
How many
Toronto would
miles
have been
you got,
24
bro?
hours. Chill.
Damn,
Kendra
bro,
didn't want to.
How many miles
Kendra
you got? No, I was just saying.
Kendra didn't want to drive the Tesla.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. How do you not want to drive the Tesla? It drives itself at a certain point.
For real.
Nah, his suck. It isn't. He ain't rich enough for self-driving.
That's what it was. It was like a Model 2,
Outdated
wasn't it?
technology.
It's a,
Very.
it was
No,
model.
no.
It's a Model 2, huh? Model
That's-
1.5.
Nah, the model broke. What you mean?
Yo, Tesla said, "Go install that shit yourself."
They downloaded firmware into your fucking shit, so you have to buy the new one. Shit
like-
got malware.
They're like, here's your first gen LimeWire. Go get the new one.
Oh my
Yo,
god.
no one will know that reference except
Yo.
us.
Imagine
We're dating ourselves.
having
Mike,
to
no.
Having to go on LimeWire, searching up Tesla self-driving, and then like you install it in your car, and then it's like DJ to track. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I pull up the old bootleg like piracy video. It's like you wouldn't download a car. Tesla
Yeah.
1 terabyte.
1 terabyte. You must download a hard drive for this file.
Oh my god.
Oh man, but no, like it is pretty insane. I didn't expect us to get so many. I think we have about 6 certificates.
Yeah,
And-
no, it's huge because it's like because I think like once you get like a cup, like I know V. Which one was the one with lower numbers for you guys from what you've seen? Was it V or premium?
100%. It was a little of both. So we only paid premium for 2 of the BCSs, and that was Newark.
Mhm.
I believe.
Newark had like
Premium-
7, I think.
Yeah, Newark V premium had 7 rounds, and premium had 6 rounds.
No, I
And
think
for
it's the opposite. Newark V premium.
The other way
was
around.
less. I think
Okay.
they had
Newark
like
V Premium had 5 rounds.
5 rounds.
Oh,
I think.
yes,
Premium
yes,
had
thank
7. Premium had
Yes.
7.
And for Toronto, I mean not Toronto, Vancouver. Oh, you guys will not believe this. So, standard had about 7 rounds,
Disgusting.
I wish.
and V had 6 rounds, and premium had 4 rounds.
Damn.
4.
Hey.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's the other way around.
Oh, V had 4 rounds.
V had 4 rounds.
Okay, I expect this
So-
because. No, go ahead. Actually, you go first.
No, I just find it funny because like we were saying the whole day, like we were saying about it the whole day. We should have just played V. That's just the locals.
Yeah.
Not
That's
for
just
real.
the
Like
locals.
even like the 5 rounds in Newark when I looked at V and I'm out here suffering in 8 rounds.
Yeah, we
just
were
to-
so happy. You
just to
have no
have-
idea.
Just to have number 5 through 22 be X2 is absolutely insane to me.
Oh yeah, like we knew that was gonna happen with 9 rounds of standard Swiss, and me and Garrison, we were talking about it a lot. Like we're talking about like 2 weeks worth of talking about it. Like we knew that New York and the tri-state, Pennsylvania, Virginia, you know, all the connecting states, we all played Overdress a great deal more than we played the other 2 formats. So we knew it was going to be a crazy number for
Mhm.
Overdress, and we're like, we also thought this was our only chance to play V and Premium as as an original team, because this is the original team, me, Juning, and Gearson. Everywhere else was always with Nick. And not to say that, Nick isn't a bad player or he's a substitute, It just so happened that, hey, Nick, you want to go to Toronto? That's literally what happened.
Yeah.
So he became the fourth member. Like, we're starting to become the generation of miracles,
Yeah. No, definitely huge run, like I said, and then like kind of like I was leading into. I know like V, when you, especially because you went to multiple events, you can see it. Like V, I think is suffering from the fact. So premium, no matter what, will get new cards, right?
Yeah, but
Because
V
of
is
the way
just
Overdress
super.
is, but V
But
is
V is
so
just super
restricted.
super stagnant.
It's super restricted, and like it is not as easy to get into as people think it is.
No.
Because it's getting impossible to find cards. So,
Yeah, and that's the other reason. Like, I spoke to multiple store owners and individuals about this, and from what I understand, they're not really doing any new cards for V.
yeah.
Everything from here on out is just going to be reprints. So the format becomes more available to people who want to play the format, make it more accessible in a way, because it is getting very difficult to find these cards that you want to play your decks. And with, the supply and demand, the less supply there is, the more demand, and the price goes up, and it just gets really insane.
But I don't even know if like V is growing either. It's hard to tell, right? Because like if you're getting into a Vanguard, right? A lot of people got in with Overdress and stuff like that, and I think Dear Days also pushed a few more people to play. Um, but like V becomes a thing where like, how do you grow V, right? It's not like you have product on the shelves. People are like, oh, what's
Right.
that? And they're like, and then somebody can be like, oh, that's another format for Vanguard. This, and this. Where premium, like people have made premium decks with Overdress decks,
Mm-hmm.
like Youthberg Genesis and stuff like that. They've used the core of the Overdress deck into premium stuff. So like,
Especially now when we're getting Stride deck
yep,
sets, that's more incorporation into premium itself.
yeah, exactly. So I am afraid of the lifespan of V. Um, and then with Bushiroad adding games as far as
Mm-hmm.
Shadowverse being added, um, I think year one Shadowverse is kind of on its own. But what happens like year two, right? Do they get incorporated into day two? Does that kill
Right.
the V side even more?
Well,
You
I
know?
think it would I always thought, because they had Dragoborn before, so they did have four different games going on. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to fit it in, because one day always had two events and one day
Mm-hmm.
had one event anyway. Or they would just mix and match two of the three formats. So they could make it work. I have no doubts they could make it work.
I think
It just
the
depends on turnout.
I think the difference with Shadowverse, however, is the fact that it has existed. It has a player
Mhm.
base from online. I think a lot of the online player base will jump in to get like free dubs on people who don't know about the
Yeah.
game.
You
Because
know,
honestly, that's what I would do if I was playing an online card game. They said physical. I was like, all right, I'm gonna jump in and beat people's ass because they don't know how to play. Because they don't know how to play. I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, that's
right.
you try to get in
So
early.
so I think because, V is definitely being stagnant. There's going to be a drop of players because the format doesn't change. Oh, the only thing that can change the format is a ban list, and to be honest, nothing ever since, Steam, ever since the recent ban list of Steam Maiden,
Mm-hmm.
nothing is really a best deck anymore. Anything can win. Anything has a shot. There's about, I would say, a healthy amount of meta decks, probably around like 10 or so, that you can consider playing nowadays. And I agree. I think, V being stagnant as it is, Bushiroad may decide one day to drop it, because they're, or they might not, because yes, they're not making money off of it, but they're not losing money off of it either.
Mm-hmm.
Because although they're not reprinting product, there's still product to be had, and distributors still have the warehouses that have the stock if stores want to buy it, and if they want it, the distributors can ask Bushel to, hey, get me out a case or two from your warehouse. So I think I think when Bushel runs out of product that they have overprinted, then they go from there, like, do we want to drop the game completely? Because originally, if I'm not mistaken, it was the other way around. They wanted to stop supporting premium
Yeah.
and support V and Overdress more, but I'm pretty sure the other half of the hemisphere was like, showed more interest playing premium, and the support for the game grew with that threat of extinction.
Yeah, I think a lot of people really did get on the premium, I guess, bandwagon. I guess is the best way to say it, and it kind of excelled. But I think it's the openness of it that kind of keeps it more available for other people. Like right now, realistically, right, we had that Revival Collection coming out or whatever it was.
That's applying more,
stuff.
and yeah, that's going to be a game changer.
Yeah.
It's gonna accelerate premium. It's gonna feel like it's always felt like Yu-Gi-Oh! When you're playing premium. Like games go by quick, games accelerate fast. There's more interaction than playing Overdress or V when it comes to certain card effects. Like it's definitely there for you got to think. There's a lot more into going into premium, and I haven't played much personally myself before going into this BSF, and I honestly forgot how much energy and focus and like not fucking up it takes to actually play this format.
It's a lot.
It's definitely a lot.
It's
definitely a lot. But I also see why it's so much fun for some people. Like it's because of this critical thinking that like gets your blood pumping. Like once you make like, I know this is an old phrase like out there. Once you make that elite play that gets net to the win, you feel you have that ego boost that helps you throughout the rest of the day.
For sure. Well, Mike, appreciate you coming on as always.
Definitely.
You're always good to me. Obviously, we go way back.
Of course. There's one more thing I want to mention because I failed to mention this, but if for anyone who's watching and didn't notice that, we actually did like, what's the word I'm looking for? Grand Slam, because we got 1 through 4th. We got first, second, third, and fourth.
Yeah. Ran the cycle essentially.
And I accidentally manifested that in Toronto, and I feel so bad for it because like I was like, I told these guys before, I was like, I don't have a second place yet.
This man willed it into existence. He said, "Let us not take the dub." Exactly.
And I didn't realize it until after the event, and we were going to eat, and I'm like, "Damn, I'm sorry."
I'm just there in my mind. There's a headcanon of a dude in Toronto looking at his phone, scrolling through, seeing the top in Newark, and like seeing your face, looking up, and you're his opponent, and you just like, wait a second. This is New Jersey.
That's the guy.
That's the guy. It's like that scene from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's like, hey, whoa, that's him.
Oh man, that's great.
I was like, I didn't even think about that. I was like, damn, I got one of each. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, first, second, third, and fourth. Well, 3 first places, and then second, third, and fourth.
Hey, the 3 first place is still huge, so that I'm proud of you always.
No, I'm proud of myself. Getting one. I think getting one of each is like anyone's dream. Winning.
Try to say I know these guys.
Hey, remember when that guy won Springfest? Yeah, that's
4 times.
That's my friend.
1 in each position. Crazy.
That's
my
guy.
friend.
I know him.
We've been drinking together. We've had dinner together.
We did everything
this
together.
This man hugs me every time he sees me. I know that guy.
I know that guy.
No, but I do get happy when other people win because I've done it, been there, done that. Like I don't care anymore. I don't have to prove anything. I've had like the extremes of like picking someone else giving me a deck and winning the whole event. So I don't.
I remember those days.
I don't have to prove anything. I'm just here to chill. So it feels good when other people win. Like I need them to. I need everybody to keep winning. Like because it makes me feel good. I'm like hell yeah. Cause like because you see people's growth and stuff like that. I guess that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, 10 years. 10 years of.
I mean, like you even look at like best example is Grierson, right? Grierson's been playing SQ for a while, and his growth has been exponential essentially the past.
Like, he's only ever gone up. He's never gone down. Like
and it's nice.
He's been winning before I even knew him, so I was like, to make a team with him back in 2018 or whatever year it was that we made our first Springfest together, the 3 of us. That created a lifetime friendship that I will never regret.
Absolutely. All right, Mike. Appreciate you. Any last shout outs here?
Well, one shout out to Nick. Nick, fuck you and fuck your blue ones, but I love you. He'll get that reference. Garrison, stop being a chair. That's all I can say.
All right, we're gonna take a short break, and we'll be right back in a few with another Nick, not Nick Amato, but Nick Cabrera. And we'll be back and talk about Legacy card coming up this weekend.
All right, thanks guys. Later, Vanamnz. Eddie.
Later.
Oh boy, figuring out buttons, right? Hello,
Talk.
YouTube land. We are back. The boys are back in town. It is, of course, Edward Vanamnz and Eddie on the Legacy Podcast, joined by Nick, Master Chaos 360 No Scope, Fortnite Dance, Teabag, Halo Cannon. What's up, Nick? How's it going, man?
I'm great.
Long time no see. Appreciate you coming on.
Hey, I'm glad I'm back over here joining with the guys.
Hell yeah, we're obviously going to talk about Set 10 a little bit and a few other things, but let's talk about what's happening this weekend. You are hosting an event at Final Turn Gaming. I'll let you take the floor and kind of describe everything for that.
All right, so basically it's the Legacy 500. We're top four at a $500 split from the prize pool. If you got like 30 players or less, whatever, 30 players, and if it grows more than 30 players, then it goes to top 8. But the mat and the trophy medals goes to top 4.
Yes, sir. Trophy and medals for top 4. We have prize pool split to top 4. If it's over 30 players, it'll get split between top 8.
Yes.
Essentially, and at Final Turn Gaming, which is Clifton, New Jersey, this Saturday. What time do we start in?
So far I said 12, but I'm actually extending it to 1 to 1:30. Everybody to register, get things set up. Make sure Team Raylop also set up the cameras and stuff to start streaming. So technically it'll be like 1:30 tops.
Okay, 1:30 final as far as start time.
Yes, final start time.
So everybody get there at noon. Essentially, is what I'm going to say. If you haven't registered or put it in, it's in Clifton, New Jersey. To sign up Legacy Facebook page, you can send your deck log for registration. I will put that in the chat.
Yeah, send it to me or PM me on Facebook, and I will definitely pre-reg you guys. So far, I got 27 players, so we'll see how it goes.
All right. Yeah, there'll probably be last minute registrations. There's like 2 days, and people still play testing. Don't
Yeah,
want to lock in their deck logs until probably last minute.
yeah.
Other than that, Eddie, you going?
Absolutely.
What are you playing? Not don't say it. Anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say we ain't leaking the sauce here.
Almost got his ass.
Oh no.
About to leak it out there. I'm excited for the new, obviously the new change with set 10. I'm gonna start with Nick since he's new here. What do you think has a shot to make top 8 if you were to select?
If I have, all right, if I have opinion, I will say Chronojet and Diva. If it's that 10 alone, it's Scandiva. Definitely, it's gonna be in the top spot right there. Ava still a little bit, not too much, but I will say Gandiva.
So
100%.
You're picking these three essentially. Jet,
Yeah,
Ava, Gandiva probably have the best shot to make it to win it all.
Yes.
I guess.
most likely, yes.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Any sleeper deck that you think that may just sneak in the top 8?
Yes, I want to say Welstra.
Welstra. Okay, I can see that. So Welstra obviously has the multi attack going on. It does have its dog promo as well. So it can neg, swing, and it kind of returns the stuff to your hand. So you won't have a board necessarily to retire for Gandiva per se. The only thing with Welstra obviously is the counterblast issue. I guess would be, and you'd have to hit your products properly and get 2 of the grade 3 products in there. I don't know if the cycler helps because you need soul. I don't know how much of a difference that makes in that deck, or if it's even played. I haven't tested it, but
That's why you have to run Bubble Mine at 4 at least to get the soul going.
But then what do you get?
The deck actually counterblast a lot and soul blast a lot. So Bubble Mine evens it out. So
Yeah, but even then, like without, because you run Bubble Mine before, because you have to Soul Blast 2 for what's it called? What was the swing Soul Blast 2? Or that's Walsher himself, right? So he's Soul Blast 2, right?
No. On attack, activate.
Is it? Am I
Operate.
Am I thinking about Fahrenheit?
operate.
Yeah, Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah, because Welstra is on attack is he gains operating a product and your opponent gets -5.
No.
No.
He gets +5. I think.
He gets +5 every time you operate. Yeah, no. Fahrenheit says on attack, Soul Blast 2 operate.
Yeah,
something.
that's the Soul Blast.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference because you would essentially chain the attacks with Fahrenheit, Soul Blast, call the thing, bounce 1, so that way at the end of the turn your board would be empty. So you don't really get affected by. You don't get affected. You should not at least get affected by stuff like Messiah, Gandiva is retired because you won't have anything to retire. But Gandiva will be start drawing cards because you can retire, right?
Yeah.
But it also forces them to kind of play certain things to get to that because they're not going to be able to retire and buy. They have to kind of bind your own stuff. So I see where the mentality is at least. I just want to kind of explain why you said Welstra in the
because the deck actually filters itself and searches, so it kind of decked in a little bit.
Oh, the deck thing is fine, but you don't have a board to retire. Is essentially, and that'll slow down Gandiva, which you think is the best deck. However, it will not slow down Ava, which is the other deck that you said, and Ava will just
that's the only thing I can't beat is Ava.
And it won't really slow down Chronojet either. It'll just do its thing.
The longer you play with Chronojet, the harder it will get because Chronojet, he scales a lot faster than anything every time you stride, so it's going to be hard to guard everything.
Okay. Eddie, thoughts on what could top 8 this weekend?
Pretty much the same thing that Nick said. I don't. You see, I've got some weird relationship with Gandiva right now, but I for sure think it's going to be Jet, Ava, and Messiah. I'm going to put Messiah before Gandiva, just because of the existence of Ava. Interesting take. I played that matchup, man. It's a rough one. It's a rough one for Gandiva against Ava.
Okay. I could see Messiah because of the drawing power, most likely.
Apart from all that, I'm gonna also say like some sleeper decks that people will be playing are just the masks, because most people will probably not know what they do. And I mean Zorga Mask and I think Drajuled Mask is okay. I'm not sure, but I know for a fact Zorga Mask is great. It's spicy. It's a spicy deck.
Yeah, I think Zorga. I think Zorga's really good. I think Messiah can be good. Wow, I lost my voice. Can be good with certain players and certain matchups because it still scales very well in its multi attack. We kind of talked about it earlier as far as like the power of Messiah doesn't really come from like the draw. I don't think as much as the scaling multi attack with like attack lock, attack lock, attack unlock, attack attack. So you still get the effects off the drive check of the main grade 3, but you also get pokes that start off beginning of the game are 15. Next turn it's going to be 25. Next turn it's going to be 35. Next turn it's going to be 45 or 50 or like, you know. So it scales very, very highly, and it does have the chain of attacks where it has that one extra attack maybe that Chronojet doesn't have.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, you know, we all talk about Gandiva. Gandiva accelerates itself very, very quickly. Draws a lot of cards with Best Harvest. Can draw a lot of cards with Best Harvest. First turn can be swinging with a crit. So it really depends on who goes first. Zorga, I think, very strong, but obviously depends on like kind of how many Prison Dragons are in the drop, what orders are you using? Are you using your orders correctly? So that's like if Zorga tops is going to be somebody that thinks so, that is actually thinking, essentially, and that it plays very, very well. It's not, you're not going to have like Tommy Two Fingers picking up Zorga and just topping, because it's not going to happen. You have to actually know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Whereas like Gandiva, you just have to be like, all right, I play a grade 3. I use this effect to bind a card. I bind another card, and I draw a card. I use Gandiva's effect. Oh, I retire one of your things. I bind a card. I draw a card. Oh, I attack with this. What does this do? Oh, I bind a card. Oh, I have 5 now. Now I swing with crit. I swing with crit. So,
and the front row gains power.
Oh boy. Oh, I did it. I did it. I counted to 5.
What fun and intense gameplay. Amazing.
You can brick with that deck still, like I said, it's not like crazy, like it can still go down.
Oh yeah, so, if you don't get your Persona rides on time.
Well, you don't even need Persona ride necessarily. Persona ride is just more harassment. Because realistically, you just need to be able to bind constantly, almost every turn, at least 1 or 2 more cards after you get your initial 5.
That's
true. It's still 23. It's just gonna go up from there. Like it's just more and more annoying, if you would.
Yeah.
Mine, I think it's gonna be Gandiva for sure. I think definitely could be Chronojet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the Zorga train because I'm playing Zorga, so I'm gonna top 8. But realistically, Overlord can top because it doesn't really have a bad matchup against anything.
Oh yeah, Overlord.
It doesn't have a good matchup against anything, but it doesn't have a bad matchup against anything either.
You know, every time you say that, all I can think is the deck has a bad matchup against itself. Not like in the mirror, just itself could beat its ass. Just not giving you the cards that you need to see.
The only thing you need to see is Ardor Hatchet Dragon and 1 Overlord. And you play 4 of each of those.
Mm-hmm.
So that sometimes happens, that you just don't get it.
But even then, it is still a restanding Vanguard that if they crit you twice and you don't have enough to guard 33 in a crit, you're just going to die.
I honestly think that
with a crit, etc. It's just swings.
Yeah, I think Overlord actually loses to Control, in my opinion.
That's a bold-faced lie because you just swing with Overlord. You are lying to yourself because
you are the deck.
No matter what you do as far as tying its rear guard, you're still swinging twice with Dragonic Overlord.
Yeah, but sometimes you're gonna need the rear guards as well. Because
but sometimes, right? You're a grade 2. And you have no PG, and they're swinging for 18, right? Their first grade 3 right. They don't even have the second restander. You're like, all right, well, I have 150k. I have my grade 3 for next turn to have something to pitch. I have 2 cards that don't really do shit. All right, no guard. All right, crit, over triggered. Oh, I lost.
Because I remember when I was using Magnolia and I had Biocore in the back row, and I kept swinging his rears. He literally couldn't do anything.
Who is he? First of all,
A person that I faced. Let's just say.
That's the first thing, right? The first thing is who is he? What is the caliber
Who
of
is
player?
he?
Who is he?
You can't just be
Overlord
like,
player. Let's put it this
not
way.
every
Overlord.
player, like not
Who
every
is
player.
this man?
Look,
I'm just saying, every time I face it,
I love the Vanguard community. I do, but not every player is built the same. All right, some people are built different, and I don't care that you swung with Magnolia Biocorn at the front row, because what happens when you have no PGs and you just got to take the Overlord and they double crit you out of the game? Because that's what happens, right? Because they can cycle their deck. They take out the Overlords with Burning Horn. You search a grade 1. Now you have a cycler, so you can also cycle that through. So like it's
that is Vanguard. GG.
A
Vanguard.
restanding Vanguard swinging twice is not okay.
Yeah.
With the condition of I just have to swing. That's the condition.
I agree.
And they don't discard because Halbei is the one that's going to be discarded, right?
He's gonna come back. So technically, he's like, yeah.
Yep. There it is.
But you don't neg anything actually.
So, yeah, I think it's like I said. I don't think Overlord's the best deck. I think it's possible.
It's an okay deck.
It's possible because it's just there.
Yeah, if you have a good pilot, it's definitely gonna win.
No, I don't know definitely because they could still get absolutely trashed, but it can exist in that ecosystem. I think as far as like making a top 8.
Yeah, because it did top BCS a lot, so it's a possibility.
And it's still topping in Japan as well.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. People still playing Overlord. People still playing Overlord, man. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I got look a 4th place team. No, not even 4th place because they have different blocks. So I guess it's 4-seat Dragonic Overlord, seat C, in Japan in Nagoya. That was June 10th. That was 5 days ago.
That was Saturday. That was last Saturday.
Yeah. And the thing is, we don't have like Monster Strike, right? So what if Japan didn't have Monster Strike? Would those just be filled with Overlords too? You never know. It's one of those things. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Other than that, all right. So this Saturday, people sign up, all that fun stuff. Let's talk about the future of Vanguard. Let's talk about the big old scary, right?
Let's go.
Let's talk about set 11, which is Ava, the glitter units,
Azel,
and Vermilion.
And Vermilion,
right? Those are coming out. I don't think Ava changes much at all.
If anything, it just gets like a little bit faster, I think, and that's it.
You just add maybe 2 or 3 of the Avas.
Yeah.
You can because it's still 4 and 4 of the Ops. Now you should be playing the grade 2 that gives everything boost. And then you have the Cycler, of course, because it lets you play 2 orders. And then other than that, nothing changed with Ava. I think it's still okay. It's not the worst in the world. I mean, you lose to Vermilion if they punch everything, but
I honestly think out of all the glitters, I think Aurora improved a bit. Am I mistaken?
Aurora improved a lot.
Yeah.
So Aurora now gets a crit constant.
That glow up was nice.
Yeah.
That
kind of improved a bit.
I think the it still has the same multi attack as it has Aurora name. Still has glitter. So there's all that. Just Aurora getting a crit is very, very good.
Yeah, man.
That's what it needed.
I think it makes a huge difference on that front.
Yeah.
Other than that, Azel coming out. I don't know what it's gonna do because I don't look at a lot of the cards until they're in my hand. But Azel right now.
Listen, I don't know about you guys, but on paper, being able to Persona ride when your opponent's on grade 2 is, to me, just inherently good. Like that's just strong.
I mean,
out of the gate.
We say that, but it's been out, right? We had a tournament in Japan that it's been out, and it didn't do anything. Yeah, June 10th, it was out. It was out. Azel was around.
You're right. It was totally with my mind.
Now I don't know if because I don't know how recent the set was from that tournament. Like if it was we're not comfortable, still kind of researching some stuff. We'll play it later. It did top 8, but so did Greedon, and which I don't think we talked about. Agreed on.
That's a name I wasn't expecting to hear.
Mask.
Hold on. Didn't Genesis get also support like Minerva?
No.
No.
Set 11, no?
No.
Nope.
The other set 11 stuff is the mask, like Agreed on Mask and
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
what was the other
Okay,
one?
because I seen some
It's
Genesis
it's
pop.
just Greed on Mask, I think.
All right.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm not 100% sure. I know Mushi King was a thing.
No, that's right. Which begs the question: what the heck is that getting replaced with when we get it? We're not getting Mushi King.
I don't know. I don't know. My hope is that Mushi King is out, which makes the deck a lot less, which means there's more available FFRs and stuff like that because it's less. And it's easier to get to certain triple rares and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're essentially removing a whole block of cards from there.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Who knows? They might just be like, fuck it. Let it ride. Mushi King.
You get more double rares, baby! Fuck.
Let it ride. Mushi King it up. You know?
How's Vermilion doing in the Japan scene? Because that's got to be good.
It did not top.
That's interesting.
Here's the thing, right? Ebisu being meta is still makes choices a little bit weird but I don't know how soon that set was released during that time frame because like then also we don't know if people experimented with the deck list and stuff like that. But I think
that's true.
The implementation of Monster Strike and how good it is and has been makes it hard to read the meta as far as like how it'll shift to us. Not too much because you'll know some certain decks like that'll top still, like Gandiva for example. Odds are it's gonna stay topping, but then you have like stuff like because the first place team I think played the new Tamayura, right? But how much was that the Minerva and the Ava carrying that, or like how good the day was? Like we don't know like a lot too much information of like how it happened, I guess.
Yeah, take Japan's meta with a grain of salt, just because of the existence of Ebisu.
Yeah, Ebisu makes it a little weird. Not too weird, like I said. You'll still see like a consistent amount because Zorga's still topped a consistent amount there. Oh, we lost Nick.
But computer restarted. Unfortunate. But
like there are certain cards that got support obviously during that time frame, but like it's Ebisu being there as far as on a team tournament. Team results are going to be a little bit different, but you can still kind of read the meta as far as like what's good and what's not. Even removing.
You can, but it's going to be skewed just because I think I saw like one or two top fours where each team had one.
Yes.
Ebisu.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And if you have like Gandiva and Ebisu, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did they carry everything? And
that
then, but then like
you have. Then the last slot was just a flex.
Yeah, the last slot maybe just a flex, and they got carried. Like you don't know, you never know. Wallista has been another deck that's been rising in popularity, pretty strong with the new gem order. Now that you have,
not gonna lie, don't know what she does at all. Like 100%.
Me either. I think it's multi attack. I don't. I'm not gonna even guess. But that's something that's been popping up a lot is Wallista.
Yeah.
At least from like the newer sets coming in.
Right.
Even after set 11, because it's Ava's still around, Gandiva's still around, Overlord's still around, Youthberg is still around, but Ebisu's been a lot of it because there's been a lot of team tournaments, right? So we don't have like too many singles kind of going on, as far as like that. But a lot of Gandiva, a lot of Gandiva. Duelist has been the one that's been kind of creeping up there in value, and Mushi King, of course.
And of course, Mushi King! Rock, paper, scissors, baby! What an odd idea for an arcade game. Really, really niche. Very interesting. Never change, Japan. Stay funky.
No, absolutely. So I'm excited for this weekend. I'm going to be up there doing the old Vanguard stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to be excited, too. I'm going to look through your stuff and just absolutely pick shit apart and like, gimme!
First of all, no, you're not. Don't ever speak
Bitch.
to me like that again.
And canceled, just like that. New host looking for a new host.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I'm excited too. It's gonna be fun.
I will have some stuff from this last set. Not too much.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm excited too. It's gonna be great.
But
It's gonna be a fun time.
I am like pretty close to the event itself, I guess, to the shop, so I don't have to worry about like driving too far because I'm staying the night. So that's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna videotape some stuff.
Are we talking about the other event yet? The one in the July?
Yeah, July 8th, Legacy Cup, Legacy X Vision, Fusion Hybrid, Polymerization XE.
Mm-hmm.
Summon, but like
overlay the network.
It's gonna be Legacy Cup in
Pendulum,
Virginia Beach, Virginia. At
Virginia,
this store called the Booster Box. Very spacious, very clean, very minimal.
Just like a booster box.
Just has essentially like what's it called? Just like the stuff in the front end, and it's all tables. So very, very good shop, I think personally.
I'm excited for that too. I'm gonna be traveling for that one. That's gonna be. I haven't traveled for like an event since BCS Atlanta back in like 2018, 2019. 2018.
It's $20 entry. We start at 1. We are starting at 1.
Let's fucking hope this bus gets me there, bro.
So like, I'll talk offline about that. But like, it's obviously we're doing Swiss cutting the top 8. I like how Nick just decides to join without telling us. Like, have to fix transitions and everything. Welcome back, Nick. Oh, getting funky over there.
Walk on down, our first contestant.
Right?
Good challenge. Before the break, we saw the neighbors put their vocabulary to the details.
Okay, all right.
All right.
What is that?
This is a lot.
I have no clue what's going on right now, but Nick is sabotaging the show. Let's go. My man's going with the hostile takeover.
That's gonna be a clip. We're gonna have to clip that. Just Nick sabotages the show. That's gonna be a fucking clip.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah,
sorry, guys.
We're gonna start talking about Legacy Cup, July 8th.
Oh my
Booster
God.
Box in Virginia Beach, Virginia. $20 entry, 1 p.m. start time as well. Standard, cutting to top 8. Top 8 playmat is the Bruce playmat that everybody's seen. Those are being printed and shipped. Playmat on entry, we are working on what that is. I'm trying to see if I can get them in time. But other than that, essentially all the, like I said, prizes will be top 8. There'll be raffles and stuff like that from our sponsor, which is Lionhead Gaming. Which, if you haven't checked out Lionhead's Gaming website, they're going to be, so you posted in the chat, they do sell playmats, and now they have tokens. You can get your plant tokens there. And then also you can get these metal markers, essentially, for Archite. And the other one is the girl from Witcher Mercury. I don't know her name.
Yeah.
You watch Gundam?
I don't, but I do recognize Witch of Mercury only because of the other girl that is...
Also Witcher Mercury?
Yeah.
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 It is heavy. As far as like these metal tokens, I have 2 of them. I have 1 of each. Let me nope, that's a plastic, sorry. They're pretty
it's heavy.
They're pretty heavy.
Yeah. It sounded heavy. Like, if that's the sound of it hitting a rubber playmat, that's pretty heavy. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's thick. Those are coins.
Yeah,
those are just coins.
That wasn't me beating my schmeat. That was the tokens hitting each other.
The titanium tingling.
And the top 4 on Nick's, on the Legacy 500, you guys are getting top 10 Euro playmat for top 4 over there on that side.
Woo!
Yeah, we're getting the Tamayura playmat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Should I show it off to see to
No. See it.
Yeah. All right. We're talking about the same time of year playmat, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I hope so. Let me see.
All right. Look at that. Let's see if we can get that. Let me pull up this script.
That Fox girl.
If the background doesn't like eat it up.
Yeah. Hold on. Nope.
Nope.
No. All right. Well, you get the idea. It's a great looking mat. If I move it like this, it'll be good.
As seen by Fuzzy Paradox as well.
Yes, as well.
Shout out to
on
him.
Twitter.
Shout out to Fuzzy Paradox, doing God's work.
Hell yeah.
Doing God's work. VG
All hail the king.
paradox.com, of course.
Oh, yes, of course. Buy him a coffee if you can. Absolutely.
All right. Other than that, I think we had a pretty good second show. We had Mike coming on talking about the big year that it was for him, the traveling, all that. Next week we're gonna talk about other stuff as far as like judging events and kind of stuff like that. We have Alphonsus from Team Gradelock coming on, so he'll also be talking about the event.
Interesting.
As well. Hopefully he's going to be at the event, talking about the event. We will try to get whoever tops the event on as well next week. We got some other big guests kind of lined up. We're going international soon, as far as like so we'll have like some Saturday streams when we have to bring some people on, and then we'll work on bringing some returning fan favorites as well. So big season this season. I like how I'm calling it a season because like at some point we're gonna stop and go on vacation again. Essentially, is what is gonna happen. But any last words for Chad, Nick, while you're on?
Just come to my event, have fun, and enjoy. You know, it'll be fun.
That is this Saturday. This
Saturday.
Literally like 2 days.
17th.
Clifton, New Jersey. Final Turn Gaming.
I'm at noon, but the tournament will start either 1:30, depending on how everybody preps.
Just come at noon. Just show up.
Just come at noon. Just show up.
Show up at noon, please.
We'll sit on the pavement at 10:30 and play.
Pre-reg if you can, because if you show up and you're number 37, or let's say, what is it, 35? What's the cap? Sorry.
35.
35. So if you're number 36 and you didn't pre-reg, then that feels bad. However, if the guy that thought he was 35 is in front of you, like, oh, yo, I pre-reg, man, then you get to cut him and he looks like an idiot. So, show up.
I mean, it could extend to 40. That's the limit that Final Turn can do. So 40
the
is
absolute limit. So why you give me a fake number? 40 is the limit. Make sure you're not
40,
number 41.
40 is the limit.
Make sure you're not number 41. That's all we need to know. Eddie, last words for the chat.
Make sure you're not number 41 or 42. Otherwise, you'll be sitting out on the park bench playing your game. And also, play Archite.
Hey.
Play something.
Play something.
Play something.
That's going to be a running theme. I'm just going to tell somebody to play a deck at the end of each stream now.
Play something.
Play Sisters of Cleaning.
Hell yeah. Oh my god, okay. Don't play that. All right, appreciate everybody joining us on YouTube land. This is a crazy experiment that we're switching to. We have more, I guess, different type of content also coming that's not the podcast that other people are working on with us. We'll get that sorted. I posted that like preview thing. Essentially, there's gonna be a bunch of gameplay videos as well, and people are gonna talk about like what their thought process was playing their game and stuff like that. So it's gonna bring like a bigger, deeper dive than just like watching two people play and not knowing what the hell they were thinking when they decided to guard 30K instead of 25 or 33. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. And then we'll criticize people's gameplay together, and then I can read people's comments saying, "Hey, these guys suck," and I'll be like, "Yeah, I know they do." Other than that, goodbye, chat. Appreciate everybody.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Thanks for coming.
Goodbye. Bye.